Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Julian. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is about running. I just got done with my Sunday run, and I got to tell you, I felt just like lately when I've been running. It's just been so terrible. I feel my runs have been pathetic. My times have been pathetic. My motivation to get out and run has been pathetic. You know, last year, 2014, I ran over 2,000 miles. I did 8 marathons, ultra marathons. I did a double marathon. I was on fire last year. And I went through the winter. I did a lot of snowshoeing. I came into the spring. I was feeling good. My last marathon, last year I was at a point where I was running a marathon a month on average. You know, not cumulative miles for the month, but I was taking a day a month to say, hey, I'm going to run a marathon this Sunday, you know, in October, in September. Sometimes I was running 2 marathons a month last year. Or I'd run 20 miles a day before a marathon, 2 days before a marathon, and run after it. I was on fire last year. And into the spring, my last marathon I ran was actually at the end of March this year. It was the last time I've run a marathon distance. And it's September now. I haven't done anything. I've been so slacking. I opened a new restaurant, which I've talked about several times. I haven't really done many YouTube videos, so I haven't really talked about it that much. But my times this year, I haven't had time to get out and run like I've had time in the past. Doing one restaurant in a radio program, which I haven't even done. Run one restaurant, one radio program, and all the things I do, it left me enough time to really train hard. But opening this Italian restaurant, I got to tell you, you know, we're conscious, we're healthier. You know, I do have a fryer at the new place. At Aroma Time, we don't have a fryer. We're super, super strict on all that kind of stuff. The new place, we do have a fryer. We have 2 dishes that are fried: the calamari and the French fries, and the smelts. And I don't really partake in fried foods. I don't really partake in any of that rich, heavy food. But opening an Italian restaurant, we're doing a lot of Southern Italian food there. So it's on the lighter side, but it's still much heavier food than I'm used to. So it's like, oh my gosh, I just need to go across the street to Aroma Time and get like a nice, really awesome veggie dish and a good salad. We had a nice quinoa and cucumber salad at Aroma Time last night as a special that the chef made here, the Dash made. That was fantastic. My point is, I've been slacking in my running. I go out and I run. It's just like, it's just such a dread to run. I'm lucky if I'm breaking 9-minute miles. Lucky to break 9-minute miles. You know, last year I was running 10Ks at 42 minutes, 41 minutes. Now a 10K is like 56 minutes, 58 minutes. Just like, oh my gosh. My mileage has just been way down. My motivation has been way down. My diet has been like crap. But here's the good news. I was telling my running partners this morning, the guys I run with on Sunday, 4 days ago, I went back to a super high carb diet, low fat, low protein, started doing a pound of greens a day. I haven't done a pound of greens a day almost all year. So I was doing a pound of greens a day, lots of fruits, lots of high quality carbs. But here's the one thing that I think has really changed, that just my whole mindset. You know, last year I read tons of books. I read Dean Karnazes, I read Scott Jurek's book, I read Rich Roll's book, I read the Thrive book, I read Eric Orton's book, I read all these books on running. And it was just so motivational and inspirational to hear all these guys, how they run 50 miles, 100 miles, how they were alcoholics, overweight, and they just became these mega runners, endurance athletes. So last night in bed I started watching the Iron Cowboy. The Iron Cowboy is the guy who did the 50 Ironmans. 50 Ironmans, those are triathlons, 112 miles, 2.6 swim, 112 mile bike ride, 2.6 mile swim, and a marathon, 26 miles running. He did it 50 days in a row in 50 states. Dean Karnazes previously had 50 marathons in 50 states, and everybody thought that was like a huge feat. And now, James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy from Utah, tops that with a triathlon a day, an Ironman triathlon a day for 50 days in a row. And he just completed that this year. Previously, he had the world record with 30 Ironmans in a year throughout the course of a full year. Now he put 50 in 50 days. So I'm listening to it. So I was following this summer a little bit. And I was following Scott Jurek's run on the Appalachian Trail this summer. But I really started watching some videos of his last night. And I really got motivated again. I'm like, man, this is great. And last year, that missing link from this year, I was reading all of these guys' books. And it was so motivational to see what they're doing and to understand the mind has no The body has no limits. It's what the mind has put on it. So when I've been going out to run lately, my attitude has been like crap because I feel like crap. I've been eating like crap. My thoughts are like crap, and my running's like crap. So I spent like an hour just watching all these videos, and I started listening to some Rich Roll. I love Rich Roll's podcasts, and so I started listening to some of his stuff. This is like 11 o'clock at night. I start getting into this in bed. I'm like, man. So I woke up this morning at 5:30. I was like, bam, ready to go. Meet my friend 6:30. Let's start running. I ran with them. I felt fantastic. They stopped. I ran another couple miles. I kept going. Now my buddy Eric at 9:30. It's 20 minutes before 9:30. It's 9:10. He texts me. He wants to run. So I'm going to go back and run again. I offered for my wife. I said, if you're going to run, I'll go run with you. So I was struggling to break 9-minute miles this week. Struggling the last couple weeks. Just, even when I was running 3-4 miles, I was just like, oh. But people don't realize your thoughts, your food, all that makes a difference, and it's instantaneous. Your mind is instantaneous. Your food, the food you're putting in your body, all of a sudden can change just change everything instantly. And I kept gaining weight from opening this restaurant because I was so stressed. When you open a restaurant, the general rule is that you figure out how much money you need for a restaurant, right? You figure, okay, I need 50,000, I need 100,000, I need 250,000, and you times it by 5. You times it by 3 to 5. I was taught that a long time ago. You times it by 3 to 5, and that's what you really need to open a restaurant. So when we figured out what we need, we're taking a turnkey restaurant. We're going right across the street from Orton. We're taking a restaurant that was so-called turnkey. We knew we'd need to do updates in it. I got to tell you, being $60,000 over budget was stressful. And when you don't have the money to do things, and you're pushing things off and trying to say, well, we can buy this later, we can fix this later, we have to wait a month until we open to be able to afford it. It's extremely stressful, and that took its toll on me. Finances is one of the most downfalls of people in stress, and to just try to juggle that was just horrendous. So of course, from there, my thoughts go down, my diet goes down, we're testing food, I'm doing all this research and development on pizza. We're not a pizza place, we're a restaurant with good pizza. So of course, I want to go to the best places in New York City, I want to go to the best places in New Jersey, I want to try pizza and learn techniques and get ideas and do all this kind of stuff. So of course, that's what I was doing. I was eating a lot of pizza. And sometimes I'd order my pizza vegan at certain places, sometimes I wouldn't. Most of you know that watch my videos, I'm primarily vegan, except for like when I taste food at my restaurants, because Aroma Time has tons of vegan options. I can eat tons of vegan food here, but we do other things at Aroma Time. We're not only vegan. We happen to have fantastic vegan food. We happen to have fantastic other food as well. So I do things to taste for research and development. It's like Bear Grylls. Bear Grylls is super strict vegan, right? He's vegan, hardcore vegan. But on the show, you'll see him eating like trout guts, right? And all this weird food, because that's part of what he does for the show. That's part of what he's showing you for the survival part of the aspect of the show. And offset, he gives the camera crew and the crew grief for eating like ham and bologna sandwiches. He like cracks down on them and then turns around and goes on camera and then skins a squirrel and eats its guts. So it's that same thing for me. I taste the food, I can taste it, and I turn around and tell my staff, well, you should be eating more veggies. You should be eating more fruits. You should be cutting that out of your diet. I do the same exact thing that he'd be doing. So 4 days ago, I said, enough's enough. I've tasted all the food in the new place. I've tasted the food. I understand what the food's like. We've done doing research about it. We just launched our panini menu. Our panini was the last portion of our menu that was a missing link. We have all kinds of paninis. So I was tasting food that I normally wouldn't be eating on a regular basis, and we'd make 4, 5, 6 versions of the same panini just so we could figure out the portion sizes, how long to cook it for, and how to, just so that just came very tedious in all the tasting. And of course, I used to be very disciplined where I could take one bite and walk away, and for some reason, you get into this I don't know if I guess it's a downward roller coaster ride, right? Where you're like, oh man, that's not going to hurt me, I'll just keep eating the whole thing. I'll just keep eating that whole cheese pizza. I'll just keep eating that whole thing. And it really, that's where I was actually coming from. And it was like, man, this sucks. Because once you start going down, you keep going down. Once you start going up, you keep going up, right? Momentum goes both ways, right? And it's easy to keep, we all know it's so easy to just go downhill and that's it. But once you start going uphill, and once you start seeing the results. So today, running, man, I did 8 miles already. My last mile I ran today was 7:28. I haven't done a mile that fast. Well, I did a race a few weeks ago. A race is different because a race, you just get in a groove and you look and see people ahead of me have pacers and all the momentum and this and that. But I got to tell you, I knocked myself out at this race. I just 3 weeks ago it was a relay race, and it was just afterwards I was dead. Today I'm not dead. Today I'm ready to go run and run more today. I mean, I'm so excited. Like, I want to get on my bike and go ride. I want to go do more things. And my point of this whole video is that your thoughts are instantaneous. You get instantaneous results with your thoughts. So watching the videos last night from the Iron Cowboy, these guys are like, it's all a mind thing for them. Even the Iron Cowboy was like, the easiest thing was for him he goes, my easiest thing was to run, swim, and bike. He goes, that was the easiest part of the whole thing because that's what I do. The hard part was balancing a family, finances, all that other stuff, paying the rent. He goes, that was the hard part. The easy part, I'm like, man, he's right. That's the easy part. We all can run. We all have the ability to train ourselves. We all have the ability to think right. We all have the ability to run, most of us, right? We all have that ability to walk, to run, to do it. And so just going out today today's going out was a totally different mindset altogether. I gotta tell you, the guys who I run with on Sundays typically, they're not, I don't want to say they're not great runners. I run with a lot of people. I run with a lot of talented runners. The guys I run with on Sunday are not hardcore like a lot of the other runners I run with when we do trails, when we do all these super endurance things. So the mindset going into Sunday's run is always a little different than going into a run with other guys or with a run by myself. So my mindset all week long, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the last month, 3 months, my mindset has been such crap. Because I've been telling myself, oh my gosh, I've been telling myself and feeding myself all that bad crap, thoughts and food. And it was just this perpetual downhill. And of course, I've gained weight over the course of the summer. Summertime's not the time to gain weight. Summertime's the time you're out and having fun and being in the sun and being active. So I've gained weight, but since going back to my pound of spinach a day, the weight's just coming off like that again. It's just like, wow, this is so easy. And people say, Marcus, a pound of greens a day. I like spinach a lot. A pound of greens a day is a lot. Too much greens, it's a lot of food. How do you do it? Well, when you eat a pound of greens a day, whether you put it in a smoothie, whether you eat a salad, a no-fat salad dressing salad, when you do that, there's not much room for other food, right? Yeah, you can eat fruits and stuff, but there's not much room for more, for especially bad foods. After you eat a whole big salad, after you eat a half a pound of spinach, there's no way you want to eat bad food. It's just your mind and your body's going in that upward direction, and that's where the momentum's going. So you're not like, oh, let me drink a green smoothie and then have an order of French fries. People normally don't think like that, or at least I don't think like that. So the point of this whole video is you can change things instantly. Your mind is so powerful and your diet is so powerful. And because I've gone both extremes on food, super healthy, 100% raw for months and this and that, to terrible foods in my past, I've seen both spectrums. That when I eat a good diet, I feel the difference. When I eat a bad diet, I feel the difference. And certain people who just eat a bad diet never feel the difference of the good effects, the awesome effects of eating a great diet. You don't feel those effects, but I can feel the effects either way. So I can either feel myself going downhill or I can feel myself going uphill, which is great. And I'm able to correct that stuff hopefully right away. It's been tough over the summer, but that's the reality of it. So, do you guys have any good good running books that you guys like to read? Do you have any athletes that you guys follow? Is anybody inspirational that has made you change your mindset, that's made you move forward, that's just been there and be like, this book is awesome, this athlete's awesome, this runner's awesome, this YouTube channel's awesome, this gives me motivation? Because it's awesome to surround, even though they're not right next to me, sitting next to me, it's awesome to be able to get their energy through YouTube and through books. So I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm updating my phone here, my iPhone. Long process. I'm I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully now that both restaurants are running smoothly, that I'll be able to get back on YouTube on a much more regular basis and keep making videos. And that, I gotta tell you, that right there was probably one of my downfalls too. I wasn't on YouTube. I wasn't doing these kind of videos. I wasn't, and honestly, I really wasn't in the right frame of mind to come on and talk about, hey, just ran a marathon, because I wasn't running a marathon. I wasn't running a half marathon. I wasn't running an 8 miler. I wasn't really running. Or here's a green smoothie, because I really wasn't doing that. So it was hard to get on YouTube and talk about that. It was hard about getting on YouTube and saying, oh my gosh, I've gained weight. Oh my gosh, I'm eating this, I'm eating that. I feel like crap. I'm not thinking right. So for me, it was hard to get on YouTube and actually do that, because I really like bragging about the positive effects of diet and mindset, and there's a lot of things I like doing on YouTube. As if you've watched any of my videos, you can see I cover a wide variety of topics, all sort of positive health. Jamie and I do some relationship stuff. A lot of people come to us for relationship advice, and I don't know if we're qualified. We've been together 25 years and we're happier than ever, and this and that, and people can see that and they come to us for marital advice. I guess Jamie and I need to write a book on what we've done and our secrets to success, because people always want to know, and it's, I don't think it's that difficult, and Jamie doesn't think it's that difficult, but a lot of people, it is difficult. So I'll be back on YouTube, hopefully much more. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel. Sorry I was running on with this video. I wasn't trying to make up not spending 2 months on YouTube in one video here. I was not trying to do that. I just got a lot to say, and I feel great. I feel positive, and I'm pumped. So that's it. Thanks for watching.